Hello, and welcome to this week's Peter's Perspectives. This week, we're going to be talking about IT modernization, and specifically at the center of IT modernization, the cloud migration that's going on. So let me dig a little deeper. What I'm talking about here is the application suites that have been sitting in the legacy infrastructure and migrating them into the cloud. Now, up until this time, up until COVID, companies were running a bimodal model. That bimodal model, they had their new applications coming up in the cloud, but their systems of records or their old applications were maintained in their legacy infrastructure. Increasingly, we have found that these bimodal models are not working well because they constrain companies' ability to get to a more flexible, agile operating model, and an operating model that overall is much more productive and has a lower cost to serve. Finally, and perhaps the biggest reason, is these new operating models need to be put in place to truly serve the business and the pace that business is moving today. So hence, we have great conviction at Everest Group as we talk to our research clients that this is accelerating, and people are looking at accelerating this legacy migration into the cloud. Now, at the center of that for many firms is the migration of their ERP systems and their family of applications, the trailing applications that both feed them and are fed by them. And this effectively is the mother load. And it's this ERP-centric migration that we see at the center of many companies' plans as they look to move forward. Now, there are two versions of this. One is a re-implementation. Some firms are taking the opportunity to re-implement their ERP systems so that they can get more value, perhaps add more modules, and do away with some of those trailing applications. The second version is a lift and shift. Take the ERP systems as they are, upgrade them, upgrade the trailing applications, and move all of those over as quickly and easily as possible. One of the significant changes we have observed post-COVID is that more firms are now favoring the lift and shift. They believe they can get the operating model advantages, better serve the company, get most of the advantages, but avoid the expense and the time and the risk of the re-implementation. Now, as you look at this, one of the things you will want to think about are the incentive structures that the big tech, the hyperscalers, are providing. Each of the hyperscalers have very aggressive incentives to assist you in this cloud migration. And these incentives come from direct incentives to discounting your work going forward, to assistance through third-party providers who are positioned to help you with this, and other areas. I would strongly urge you to robustly investigate this because there's a substantial amount of help from these big tech firms, these hyperscalers, to help you in this and help finance and mitigate the risk of this migration. So I wish you good fortune as you move forward in your modernization and look forward to our next conversation next week.